Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to harvest some lavender. I've been asked a few times, and the information that I've seen online shows some pretty wrong information, so I thought I would correct that with a quick video. Let me just make sure that this is lined up properly. Okay, so I've seen some things online that say that go ahead and clip it when you see the flowers. That's absolutely incorrect. Unless if you want to use it properly, you don't want to do that. You want to let the flowers do their thing. Wait until they're about when they're shriveled up and kind of dead. Like here's one where they're all like dry and almost completely fallen out. So the bottom of the flower itself becomes this little pod. Okay, so when they're looking like this, that's when you cut it, and you want to cut it down here. You want to give it some length because almost every time, and I'm not sure why it does this, but underneath the main pod up at the top, there's going to be like a couple that are down here, especially, well, with English lavender anyway, it's almost always like that. I took them off already, they're right here, but so cut it long, and then if you can do it, you can leave it, whatever, but so you can take them off, and then you'll want tweezers or something like that. These ones I love because they're really, really thin at the top, but tweezers work just fine. So you're going to pull the dead flower out. So you can pull all the dead flowers out first if you want. It's easier if they're dead because sometimes if they're a little wet still or a little bit not completely dry, it'll pull the pod off itself too, and that's fine. But see, they're just a little bit harder to pull out. So anyways, when you've got these pods, the pod itself is typically what people use when they're using lavender. When you see lavender in jars or something, you're seeing the little pod. So some of them have seeds in them. So I would grab the flower, pull it out, and then sometimes if it feels like this one right here, when I first pulled the flower out, it was pretty obvious it was hollow. The little pod kind of just squished right down. That's fine. So you can set that aside. But some of them, if you kind of squish it down, there's a resistance there, and there's probably a little seed in there. And this is where the tweezers are handy. You can use the tweezers to just kind of go in there. I don't know how well you can see this, so to kind of go in there and pull any of the remaining flower bits out. Or how I've always done it is you can kind of squeeze it out because the seeds have this like wet little coating on them, and it'll kind of just squirt right out. So if you squeeze from the back and kind of push it up like a tube of toothpaste. Let me see if I can get this one out. So, and I might just be feeling the flower bits in this one. Yeah, I don't think there's actually a seed, but it smells really good. Okay. So that's how you do lavender. You can also pick them off first by themselves like this. Pull the flower bit out and make kind of like a little pile here, and just sit here and like watch TV or do whatever, you listen to music and just do this. And then you shouldn't really need to, if you let the flower dry completely first, you don't even need to dry these out. But if some of them, the flowers are a little bit wet still, kind of like this one, I would just put these on some cheesecloth or something in a windowsill for about a week, and then they're ready to go into a jar. And then whatever seeds you've got, you can set those aside as well and let those dry out a little bit, and then you've got lavender seeds. So that's how you harvest lavender. What I've been seeing everywhere is it says to cut it when the flowers are blooming, when they're still fresh and everything, and then to kind of bundle them and hang them upside down to dry. And then once they've dried, cut them and, you know, do the mortar and smash them up in a mortar and pestle, and then you can mix them into stuff. I suppose you can do that if you want, but if you're wanting to actually harvest the lavender, put it away, and then use it for whatever you want to use later, and have the seeds and everything, do it this way. Let the flowers dry first, and then pull them out. Thank you.